this is so corny. This is so corny. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm so sorry.
Do it. Lay it on.
It reminds me of like hyper-normalization. Like it feels like everybody knows that we're being gaslit all the time, but rather than just fucking say something, everyone just keeps going along with it. Where it's like, well, we know that it's like, how can this be the like, this is like perfect example of not being the military, right? Yeah. How can this be like the strongest labor situation in like American history that like, oh, the economy is rebounding, doing great, and yet everything feels like shit and everything is like really expensive and like there's a massive credit crunch happening and people can't get this and can't get that. It's like, but it's like being gaslit constantly, and there's this weird it's like a social attitude, and you see it at like from levels of like just like people you talk to on the street, your neighbors, all the way up to like your bosses or people in the government or people in like different, in the journalism profession where it's their job or it's not their job to like kind of break through that. I don't know about that stuff, but like I feel it everywhere, and it makes me feel fucking insane. And I think that's like what I was saying about the like simulacra. I mean, to bring it back, like Ukraine does feel like a perfect kind of object for this, because it's like this weird fake war that's real because real fucking people are dying, and like a lot of them, right? And like horrible, real devastation. And yet it's like fake troop numbers, it's fake casualties, it's like fake involvement, it's fake money, it's like it's a fake government, like it's all fake.
Fake weapons sometimes.
Fake weapons, like, but no one will just fucking say something.
Well, do you know who Leo Strauss is?
Yeah.
And the concept of the noble lie. All these people are neocons. It's just that the neocons took over and control everything.
Yeah.
They have ever since 2001. Leo Strauss was an obscure philosopher who believed that, maybe you guys can explain it better than I can, but the basic idea is that the government has a responsibility to tell people one thing for utilitarian purposes while pursuing other ends, for the greater good. And all of the original neocons and the OG neocons who did the Iraq War and other things were acolytes of this guy who was a professor, I guess, at the University of Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. They're all ex-Trotskyites from the University of Chicago who studied under Leo Strauss, who propagated this idea of the noble lie, and they've been in charge ever since then.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah, yeah. I think Ukraine is just such a crazy glaring example of that. Because I think at some level everybody knows that like there's a lot of bullshit being pumped out about it. Like it's just the air is thick with it. But because of almost an endless list of reasons. One of which is the difficulty to get accurate information. Yeah. It makes it really hard to talk about that, and the fact that like the adversary is an adversary of America, and so any talk about Ukraine makes you seem like, oh well, you're like I love Vladimir Putin or whatever. But here's the thing: is like America isn't giving Vladimir Putin fucking billions of dollars of weapons and propping up their entire economy. We're doing things like blowing up the Nord Stream is a perfect example of that, right? This massive, huge, earth-shaking sort of terror attack elicits almost no questions from society at large, or like a lot of
or
there's
even
like,
just a pool reporter, not a single pool reporter asking the White House for a comment on his fucking piece. It's insane.
It's almost glaringly obvious. Like it's at first, and not only that, but really just running with at first the possibility that the Russians did it, which is just so. I know by me saying this, the 0.00001% chance that they had done it will be true. Just kidding, but. It's like that was like a very real, that was presented as an equal possibility to it having been done by America or a Western ally. And it's ridiculous. It's taking people for children.
I just can't believe that not a single reporter would just ask the White House for comment. That's all.
Yeah.
Do you have a comment on Seymour Hersh's reporting about the Nord Stream pipeline? Like no one. And it's so telling when the media or the government really wants a story buried, right? Okay, this won't get reported. Okay, no one will talk about this.